And we are live. We're going to talk about Trump's first 100 days. We've got a little bit to show. I promise you, we only have one very, very, very short clip, under 20 seconds, of Trump talking. I hate to hear that some bitch talk. You hate to hear that some bitch talk. We're not going to do it. Just one little clip of him making a confession of something I absolutely told you was true, and he confirms it for me. But we also have other events going on in the world right now, including economic meltdown. So we got to get into it all. Let's do it. Let's do it. Morning, everybody. I want to start out by thanking our Canadian friends. We've got several people in the audience that are regulars that are Canadian, and like you know, we have a very large international audience here. I just want to start with a big hat tip to them. Good job. They understood the assignment. They got it done. And it plays right along with what we're talking about today. Trump's first 100 days, the worst 100 days in American history. It is a theme. It goes along with that theme. Not only is Trump losing here, he's causing conservatives all over the world to lose. Everybody remembers that Justin Trudeau resigned. He did. The Liberal Party in Canada was in trouble. They were down something like 24 points. It looked like they were just going to get demolished by the conservatives. And oh, by the way, I want to I love you people so much. I actually had somebody email me this. I did not know this, but I always called him Pierre, but Pierre's nickname in Canada was Creepy PP. So, so I'm going to use that from now on. Oh my God, that is hilarious. But as you know, the world got a taste of Trumpism and conservatism and where it leads to. And our Canadian friends understood the assignment. And of course, this happened. Mark Carney will continue to be the Prime Minister of Canada, and the Liberals actually did have a went from down 24 points, expecting a huge drubbing, to a victory in the Canadian elections this Monday. So, and Mark Carney, God bless him, came out swinging. He was just, look, Trump is trying to break us. Trump is trying to force us to bend the knee to him and his will, and it ain't happening, folks. And I got to tell you, that is what I want you to take away from today's show. Trump is not just a lame duck. He is a lame duck with two broken wings. And it's just, it shows. Everything shows how weak and pathetic and stupid, and it just one aspect. We're going to look at a couple different things that have happened over the last 100 days, different aspects of the job, and it just why Trump is such a complete and utter failure. He's 100 days in, and his honeymoon is over. It's over, and he's in his second term, folks. He is the lamest of lame ducks. Howie Nuttick, thanks for being here, man. I appreciate you. New supporter. Always glad to see a new supporter in the audience. Live chat. Our live chat's the best place on the internet. I swear to God, you are the best people. I mean, I'm amazed at the international diverse audience we've been able to put together here, this community that we've built, and I am so grateful to you folks. So this is the results in Canada. And you got a lot of people doing a lot of hand wringing, um, about, oh, well, they didn't get a majority. It's going to be a minority party. Oh my God. Oh, you got people just stressing over things that are just not worth stressing over. This is huge, folks. This is a massive victory. You have to understand, we're talking literally just a few weeks ago, the liberals were down 24 points. This is a massive victory, and it is even more impressive in what's happened as a result. I mean, you've got thank you, Nikita. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Let's take a look at these two right here, NDP and Bloc Québécois. And why this is just the fact that it's a minority government, liberal government, means nothing. Because already right out the gate, you've got Bloc Québécois that is come out and said, "Oh, no, 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 no. We're with them. We're with them. We are 100% supporting them." So the liberal agenda, yes, they're going to have to, like any other coalition government, they're going to have to make concessions to Bloc Québécois, which is not a bad thing. I mean, it's not a bad thing. That's why I actually love parliamentary governments, but they are 100% on board. They've already done the deal. This is solid. They are in lockstep. They are marching one right after the other. Now, the other, yeah, Steve, exactly. NDP lost their party status. You have to have at least 12 uh, uh, seats in order to be considered a party. They lost their party status. They took a huge drubbing this election. And if you just look at the agendas of these groups, yeah, they're going with the liberals. They are 100%. This is a serious 100% solid victory on top of this humiliation, which I just absolutely 100% love. Creepy PP lost his own seat. Oh my God. I love that. I love that so much. I love that so much. Oh my God. After, I mean, just hugging Trump so close that he could tell you what his taint smelled like. He lost his own seat. Good job, Canada. Good job. I want to take my hat off to our Canadian friends. Oh, we got crazy here today. I want to take my hat off to our Canadian friends. You understood the assignment. You got it done. Well done. Well done, folks. Laura Yates, thank you for all you do in our Canadian neighbors. Amen. David, thanks for supporting the show. I appreciate you, brother. I really do. But yeah, that's not all that's happening. You've got Trump going back into rally mode, but it's not going to help. It's not going to help. Like I said, he is the lamest of lame ducks. He's been going out trying to revive his whole political rally thing. One, this is going to kill him. He's going to die. I don't know if you've looked at Trump lately, but he looks like a dead man walking. He just looks horrible. He looks like he is just in his last days. If he tries to do this to where he goes and does the old rally campaign schedule thing, he's done. It will put him in the ground. And there's a reason he has to do it. On every front, they are failing miserably. And let's get into a little bit here. VMan 29,397. Trump isn't just tanking conservatives north of the border. He is tanking conservatives in Australia. And mark my words, he will take the conservative statehood party of Puerto Rico and hand it to the PIP. Yeah, I'm telling you, brother, he's not just losing for, Republicans here. He is losing everywhere. And along those lines, I actually had this pulled up for you. Republicans are just going into full freakout mode. They're not saying anything publicly because you don't dare oppose the cult leader publicly. But behind closed doors, they are in full freakout mode. John Thune and Moses Johnson's Preacher Johnson in the House, they are both in full freakout mode. They know they are staring at midterm elections, which the election season starts in a little over a year. You got 12 months, 13 months max. And we are in election season. And we all know what the politics turns into in election season. You can't do anything that's unpopular in election season. So they're looking down the barrel of anything that they want to try to pull out of their butt. They've got to get done over the next 12 months. And their polling looks like shit. They're already behind the 8 ball. They're already, I mean, you've got Rasmussen. Anybody that's been in politics for any amount of time knows what Rasmussen is. Rasmussen is right-wing GOP polling. It is. Trump could fart in their face, and Rasmussen would put out a poll that said 99% of people that worked at Rasmussen thought it smelled like roses. I mean, that's just who they are. And they just put out a poll with Trump slipping 7 points. So yeah, it's. I can't stress it enough. Trump is done. Stick a fork in that fat bastard. He is done. Jordan, did you see the small crowd sizes at his week rally? I did. But before we get into too much of Trump, there's something that I want to tamp down. There's something I want to put an end to. A massive circular firing squad just sprouted again. I mean, all of this is going on. All of this negative stuff that we need to be focused on. You know, folks, I really wish I could be sitting here and telling you I was wrong. Trump came into office. He appointed competent people. The economy's going great. Everything's going great. Our relationships with our allies are strong. I was so wrong. But I can't, because everything I told you is happening. Everything I warned you about is happening. And it's just reality's coming home to roost. But rather than talking about that, you have this group of people on social media that are clickbait farmers. All they want to do is they pretend to be left. They do. They pretend to be on our side, but they cannot wait to attack Democrats. They just can't. Anything that comes up, oh my God, look at this. Look what this Democrat did. Oh my God. Can you believe it? You know, I said it. Chuck Schumer should fall on his sword. I do. I did. And that was it. That's all I said. Because I know right now he's our leader. There isn't a leadership vote coming up. Anything that I spend on that is filling the space for Republicans. It is diverting from what we need to talk about Republicans. On that note, this happened. Gretchen Whitmer is one of our strongest candidates going into 2028. She is. She is a leading contender for the presidency. And this happened.
Well, I hadn't planned to speak, but I'm on behalf of all the military men and women who serve our country and serve so honorably on behalf of the state of Michigan. I am really damn happy we're here to celebrate this recapitalization at Selfridge. It's crucial for the Michigan economy. It's crucial for the men and women here, for our homeland security and our future. So thank you. I'm so grateful that this announcement was made today, and I appreciate all the work. Thank you.
And that's it. They want to cancel her. It's over. It's over. She's bent the knee to fascism, they say. Do y'all remember this? Do y'all remember that? Do y'all remember every Republican governor that acted like a jackass when Joe Biden showed up? Yeah, that didn't help them. That didn't help them at all. So let's talk about what's going on with Gretchen Whitmer. Did she hug Donald Trump? Yeah, she did. When he showed up on the tarmac, she hugged him. And there was going to be a press conference about Selfridge Air Force Base. Folks, when things go south, Gretchen Whitmer has to have a good relation with her guard. That's not Trump's guard. That's her guard. Those were her soldiers they were standing in front of. So yeah, she had to be there. She did. And politically, it's freaking stupid when you've got something that you're getting for your people, that you've been trying to get for your people, to act like a jerk when it comes. You can easily remember what you thought of Ron DeSantis when he did that exact thing. But you've got Democrats that are like, she took a picture with Trump. That's it. She's done. She's done. No, folks, this is what happened. This is what happened. There's been a ton of funding they've been trying to get for Selfridge Air Force Base. And they got they got upgraded. They'd had some A-10s. They got upgraded to the new F-15EX, which means newer and more crews, which means more people at Selfridge, which means a boost for their local economy. And they worked hard to make that happen. And it's happened. It's happened. And that's what she was doing there. Because she would have looked like a freaking moron if after trying to get these planes, after trying to get this additional funding for her state, had she been a bitch, it would have blown up all over Fox News. It would have blown up all over the right-wing ecosphere. In the middle of when Trump is on fire, in the middle of when Trump is trying to run for the hills, Gretchen Whitmer did the smart thing. She did not hand our enemy ammunition. But you've got the dumbest among us and the selfish clickbaiters that are already starting the Gretchen Whitmer is over. She's done. She's it. That's it. One of our best candidates going into 2028 isn't getting killed by the Republicans. No, hell no. She's getting stabbed in the fucking back by us because she did the smart thing, her job. She didn't even say Trump's fucking name when she walked up to that podium. Did you notice that? She didn't mention Trump once. That's got to stop. That has got to stop. There are people within our own movement who are not leaders. They are not leaders. If you come across that shit on your social media where all they can do is bitch about Democrats, that is not a leader. That is not someone you need to be following. That is not someone we need in our community. It isn't. So anyways, I needed to put that to bed before we started talking about this. Now, what did I tell you? I said, Trump's not running this country. Trump has got pudding for brains. He is old. He is weak. He's tired. He is greedy. He's out there trying to grift money from Live for his golf courses. He is trying to line his pockets. That is what he's doing. He isn't running shit. And that's why it's such a disaster, because he has surrounded himself with these people. Yes, David Hogg is another one. David Hogg is another one. That they, did I try to cancel David Hogg? No, I did not. Did I say that David Hogg is the kind of young leader we need within the party? Yes, I did. Did I say he was just dead wrong in this situation? But no, the Attack the Democrats people showed up. If you don't know, David Hogg runs a PAC. He runs a PAC. You can't do that. He got elected to the DNC. You can't be part of the DNC and run a PAC because the DNC can't put its thumb on the scale for anyone. It can't choose the candidates. That's against the rules. So David PAC has to learn. You got to either give up. David Hogg has to learn. You have to either give up your PAC or give up the DNC. You can't do both. So David Hogg comes out and says, well, the DNC is trying to cancel us. When a bunch of the young people are like, they don't want young voices. Bullshit. It's just the fucking rules, people. Follow the rules. Ken Martin did absolutely the right thing. He laid an ultimatum, the head of the DNC laid an ultimatum on David Hogg and said, that's it. Stop shooting yourselves in the foot. Catherine Ryan, my heart goes out to Big Gretch. The smell of danger. I know, right? That had to be gross. You could just see it all over her. She was not happy to be there. She was not happy to be there. But yeah, she is one of our best candidates going forward. Absolutely, I got her back. Absolutely. And people, folks, I don't hide it. I am what I am. I am what I am. And thank you for supporting the show. I appreciate you. I am what I am. I know Democrats are the way forward. Do I carry water for the Democrats? Fuck yeah, I do. Absolutely. But the Republicans are determined. He's a paid shill. You people pay me. You are all I have. That and selling the cups, man. Selling the cups. That's it. That's who pays me. If you people could get the DNC to pay me for what I already do, that would be great. That would be freaking great, man. Oh my God. I am telling you, I would buy offices in town. We would go upscale. I would have a staff. Get the DNC to pay me, please. Pretty please. Republicans are freaking stupid. George Allen, yeah, Texas Paul, don't like the circular firing squad crap. I don't either. And I wanted to put that to bed before we start talking about this. I told you, Trump ain't running shit. And Trump tells you right here in his own voice, and this is the only part that I'm going to make you listen to Donald Trump. Okay? Donald Trump tells you in his own voice, he ain't running shit. He don't make the decisions.
You could get him back. There's a phone on this desk.
I could.
You could pick it up, and with all the power of the presidency, you could call up the president of El Salvador and say, send him back right now.
And if he were the gentleman that you say he is, I would do that.
But the court has ordered you to facilitate that.
I'm not the one making this decision. We have lawyers that don't want to do this legally.
You could get him back.
I'm not the one making this decision. We have lawyers that are making this decision. Yeah. Yeah, we do. Exactly. Exactly what I told you. Trump isn't making the decisions on the economy. This tariff stuff, you think that came from Trump? No, that's Peter Navarro. That's Lutnick running our economy into the ground. Trump doesn't know shit. Yeah, exactly. Pass the buck. Instead of the buck stops here, I'm the president, I'm responsible. It's always pass the buck. And I promise you, I hate hearing that man's voice. That's it. That's all you're going to hear out of him this entire show. But he told you. Did I not tell you? He told you. I don't make the decisions on that. Then he gets humiliated there. His entire immigration policy is blowing up in his face. Only the bigots, like at his rally, there's a video going around. It's freaking gross. He's talking, and a woman in the front row notices she's on camera and leans out and does the old white power symbol right there on the front freaking row. And he admits during this rally, I'm so glad to see you, all you folks that are normally here. Yeah. These rallies aren't spontaneous. No, they fly people in. It's the same freaking people. And do you know how easily the corporate media could report on that? Hey, that's the same freaking guy that's here at every rally. Who is that freaking guy? Does he work at the White House? No, they just ship him in. But they don't. Jeremy, always here, brother. Glad to see you, my friend. Glad to see you. Exactly, Miss Anonymous. Exactly. They are human rights violations. 100%. They are criminal. And it's blowing up in his face. And in this interview, he gets called out. He tries to, the bullshit where he held up the picture and it said MS-13. It was a photoshopped image of the tattoo they claim is why Abrego Garcia is part of MS-13. That, and then we also, told you about the disgraced cop that said he was part of MS-13 that ended up being convicted of lying and crimes. Yeah, that's who they're using. But yeah, his immigration policy, they're central, their core, the thing they want to talk about most is blowing up in their face. And he sits there and humiliates himself and gets called out. Says, look, that picture was the interviewer says Moran, the interviewer says that picture was photoshopped. No, it wasn't. It was real. It was real. They said the people making the decisions. It's not Donald Trump. He can't do shit. He's got dementia. Glenn Kaneko, sorry I missed Sunday, something extra. Oh, well, thank you, man. I'm glad you're here, my friend. I'm glad you're here. Michael Bruce, thank you. Thank you for supporting the show, my friend. Thank you. And before we get too far along, I wanted to respond. I had an email from a longtime viewer that was very disappointed in me that when the articles of impeachment were filed, that I want to pause the show for a second. I want to address this. I promised her I would address this. And I just remembered that I don't have a video of her, an image of her email to pull up for you. And I just remembered. So you just got to take my word for it. Gail, I told you I'd answer your question. I'm going to answer your question. And it was a good question, and I appreciate it. Vincent Day, thank you for being here. Ron, thank you for being here, man. Thank you for keeping the lights on, brother. Look, Gail asks, man, why didn't you? I'm so disappointed. Why didn't you do a live when they announced the articles of impeachment? It's because we have a Democrat that did that. And I want to answer that. Do I think Trump should be impeached? Oh, yeah. He's done more than enough to be impeached and convicted. Oh, yeah. Here's the problem. I live in the world of politics. And politics isn't always just what's right or wrong. Should Trump be impeached? You bet your ass he should. Is filing articles of impeachment a good thing? Yeah. Are filing articles of impeachment a good thing now? No, they're not. No, they're not. Because we live in a very complicated world. Is it the right thing? Yeah. Is it the right thing now? No. Because everything I'm going to talk to you about, and this is why I paused the show. I didn't want to get too far in. I want you to know everything I'm going to talk to you about today is what we need to be talking about and what their base needs to be hearing. Right now, I just got the scuttlebutt. Right now, that's where the Republicans are going to pivot to. They are already prepping their talking. They have circulated. You know how the Republicans all stay on the same talking point because those talking points get sent to all their offices at the same time? Well, those talking points have come out. And the new talking point is if you elect Democrats in the midterm, they're going to impeach your God. They're going to impeach your God. They're going to impeach Trump. That's all they care about. And I promise you that the corporate media is going to run that article ad nauseum. It'll be all you see on the news. Not all the shit that Trump is blowing up. Everything that's going wrong. Everywhere they're failing. It will be Democrats are going to impeach Trump if you elect him. And their cult members will show up for that. They will show up for that one thing. Because I got to tell you, I'm going to show you a video later of a farmer. It's killing him. But I promise you, if the election was held today, even though he says he'd look at other options, he'd vote for Trump again. Because it's the bigotry. It's the bigotry. So I hope that answers your answer, Quayle. We're not on opposite sides of the fence as far as impeachment is concerned. I just know that politically we've got to do things like that. One, when we can, and two, and we can't right now. That article of impeachment is going nowhere. The Republicans are going to keep it for the election. They're not going to kill it. They're going to keep it for the election. But we have to be politically smart in the way we do things. So I hope that answers your question, Gail. V-Man commenting on my prior post, what Trump is doing to the PIP, a win in his anti-Semitic stance. Puerto Rico is the most pro-immigrant place in the U.S., so much that conservatives have to support them. Yeah, I'm telling you. By the way, if you've never been to Puerto Rico, oh my God, that was one of my favorite places. We went and had mofongo and drank beers in Old Town, Old San Juan. It's not that expensive, folks. It is not that expensive. As far as traveling is concerned, if you don't have the travel abroad budget, I get it. I didn't need it forever. Puerto Rico is an option, and it is a beautiful place. It's just breathtakingly beautiful. Robin DeHood, my 7-year-old son Link is home from school today due to overnight tornadoes, and he wanted to say, well, hey, tell Link I said howdy. Tell Link I said howdy. Intersection with Amy Manuel. We don't have the, no, we don't. We don't. Jordan, impeachment is no longer a solution. We have to win at the ballot box. Yes, that first things first. Cart before the horse, man. Don't do it. This is the Titanic, and USA is a sinking ship. There is nothing that can be done to reverse it when it's officially here, weeping and moaning to the end. That's not true, Christopher. We are doing something about it, and Trump is actually being beaten. I'm going to tell you about something horrific he just did that he's going to lose. He's going to lose on. He's going to lose on here. Stick with me. That's at the end of the show. Rebecca Sams, thank you for the support. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Damn, guys, coming out of the woodwork with the guns blazing. Thank you, Victor. I appreciate you. Appreciate you. Pamela, thank you. Appreciate you for always being here, Pamela. Victor, new supporter. Thank you for being here, Mr. Bertorsky. I appreciate you. All right, let's get back to it. Things that are going on. Signalgate. If you don't think Signalgate's hurting, look what the Republicans are doing. They are doing everything they can to kill in committee any discussions at all about Signalgate. They are anything that comes to the committee, they will not bring to a vote. They are stalling it all. They are bending to the rules to the point of breaking because they know that Pete Hegseth and the people in this, not just Pete Hegseth, it's every member of this administration. And I don't know how Tulsi Gabbard escaped this because she was there with her personal phone on Signalgate as head of the NSA on a free app. You can right now, you can go to the Google Play Store, or you can go to your App Store, Apple App Store, and you can download Signal right now for free. It is a free messaging app on personal cell phones. Even the morons, even the stupids in the Republican Party and MAGA understand that cannot happen. That cannot be allowed to keep going on. And it is still going on because they are intentionally deleting their records. They are intentionally violating the Federal Records Act on purpose, with intent. Even MAGA gets that. That's why I'm telling you, he is the lamest of lame ducks. And as far as national security, operational security, defense goes, that's not even the end of it. There is a story that Democrats are about to start firing away. You know me, folks. I'm usually a week or two ahead of the curve when it comes to what everybody's talking about. Trust me, this is going to be coming. Linda Orndorff, Trump showed video in the Elper. Yeah, he did. The bigotry is all it's about. They showed video from from CCOT, the El Salvador's prison, and the bigots cheered, absolutely cheered. Started chanting, as Linda Orndorff here says, started chanting USA, USA. Yeah, I'm telling you, bigotry is everything for them. So we have to strategically plan our politics around the conversations we want to have. That's what we have to do. You can't have the conversations they want to have. And they want to have that impeachment conversation. It drives their bigot base. Omniscient Sphinx, thanks for being here, brother. A longtime supporter, part of the foundation of the show. When I heard about the impeachment, I got excited until my brain twice and know there are a hole in the wall, the size of my head, the timing can't be worse. Yeah, I'm telling you, bro. I knew what you meant there. I got it. Yeah. Pig Hegseth needs to go. Pig Hogseth needs to go. I love all the nicknames y'all are coming up with these people. Forgive me, my mouth's getting a little dry. By the way, you asked for cups that didn't cuss on them. This is one of the new cups, the Ride or Die cup. Got my pretty face on the back of it. Oh my God. Oh, how did an ugly son bitch like me end up? I don't know. Don't kill me. I'm just a vibe. How close do you think we are to the ultimate breaking point? If by ultimate breaking point, you mean that Trump goes down the toilet with even MAGAs running for the hills, that's already started. That has already started. I not a shout out to Steve McLeod. Seems like a very intelligent citizen, knows my cousin. Yeah, Steve is a great guy. That's why he's a moderator, man. You gotta have people you can trust, man. But this happened. This literally happened. And the corporate media, of course, is missing a huge part to this story. If you just read this, and it's insane. I was watching a guy that actually, it was his job. They move planes around on the flight deck. He was one of the officers in charge, and he just broke down exactly how this worked and how this was just why this doesn't happen. It just doesn't. If you don't know, they had an F-18, a $67 million F-18 Hornet on the back of a tractor, pulling it on the flight deck. It wasn't up on the flight deck. It was down below. And something happened with the ship, an aggressive maneuver, something happened, and that plane went out the side of the ship. And everybody and their brother is like, how the hell did that? First of all, the little tractor that they use, that thing I forget how much that thing weighs, but it is ungodly heavy. You can't move that thing. And it's got an incredibly low center of gravity. The thing's like 3 feet tall. Just like, it's like solid steel plate with an engine on it. How the hell did a plane attached to that go sliding out the side of a ship? It's literally an anchor. I mean, it's like anchored to the deck. When they attach it to that tractor, that plane ain't going nowhere. And on top of it, there's a guy in the plane to hit the brakes on the plane when this happens. And they just right out the side. But the part that's being missed by the corporate media, where they were, that thing's at the bottom of the Red Sea. Why is it at the bottom of the Red Sea? Why do we have 2 carrier groups in the Red Sea? Folks, we have been constantly attacking the Houthis for about 60 days now. There is an entire war going on that we're waging, us alone. This is not, we're doing this with Europe, we're doing this with no, us. Why are we waging a war in Yemen? Israel. We're doing it for Israel. We're waging a war on behalf of Israel alone. Do you know politically, this is an opportunity in the Middle East right now like we haven't had in forever to make advances, to move forward for peace. And we're waging an entire war for Netanyahu because it's not our shipping that's being threatened. It isn't. We've talked about that before. I pulled up the map. That is shipping in that region that's going through the Suez Canal. That's not coming to us. Those aren't our companies. Amy Emanuel, I can't tell the difference between satire and the real news anymore. I'm telling you. I'm gonna pull one up later that you're gonna swear to God is fake. It is not fake. I'm going to pull one up later. Hey, Amy, stick around. The end of the summary at the end of the show. I got one for you that you're going to swear to God is fake. It is not. It's been confirmed. It is real. But yeah, that's the thing that's going to blow up in the next week or two. Remember, we're not going to be the world police, and we're not going to spend our money, and they're spending billions of dollars. Do you know how much it costs to operate a carrier group? We've got two operating in that region. 2 entire carrier groups for no one but Israel. And I know people are saying, well, no, they're attacking trade going to Europe and from Asia to Europe, and that's the world economy and yada, yada. No, they're not. They're attacking ships owned partially or wholly by Israelis. They're not willy-nilly attacking every boat that goes by. This isn't the old African pirates thing where they were just, trying to blackmail people. And no, they're specifically targeting boats that are owned by prominent Israelis. And we are waging an entire war for that. That's why they haven't been out there, as a distraction saying, oh, look at Tut, because people love to see, oh, look at the jet take off. Oh, yeah, America. They haven't been saying shit about that. Because we're spending tens of billions of dollars to fight a war that's not our war. That's not our allies' war. It's not European. It's Israel's war. At the same time, we're firing Americans in our government because we've got to cut spending. Yeah, that's really going on. That's really coming to roost. And you know me, I support Israel. I do. There is a left in Israel. There is a left in Israel that are good and decent people that are not in Netanyahu, that are not Itamar Ben-Gvir, that are not the radicals. There is a left in Israel. And they're good and decent people and deserve peace. LJ Jones, thank you for supporting the show. I appreciate you, brother. But yeah, you would think the corporate media would really have something to say about that, especially since we just a $67 million plane out the side of an aircraft carrier, and nobody can tell us how that happened. Odin 19, statisticians group ETA shows signs that the 2024 election was manipulated. Uh, yeah, you know me. You're in the wrong place for that. And I'm not one of those. I appreciate the support, and I understand my man Titus is all in on that. But I gotta tell you, until somebody shows me where there's a divergence between the exit polling and what the votes were, you're not going to get me on that. Daryl Kirsten, keep up the good work and telling it like it is. Thank you. Will do. But it's not just DOD. It's not. It's agriculture. I mean, it's our farmers. Here we go. Brooke Rollins, Agricultural Secretary Brooke Rollins, we're going to have another bailout for the farmers because, hey, stupid's economic wars, his trade wars are absolutely killing our farmers. So we're going to have to do another bailout for the farmers. Those are the kind of things that we need to be talking about. Those are the kind of things that we need to be talking about. We need to be highlighting these people that are more than happy to tell us that the leopards ate their face.
I never thought I was going to lose this much money, this fast.
Jim is a Republican who voted for Donald Trump 3 times.
How do you feel about your vote for Donald Trump now?
Well, I feel like perhaps I should have considered some other options.
The past 2 years, Jim has been selling honey to the federal government, which then provides it to schools and food banks. But after Donald Trump took office, the USDA cut those programs suddenly as part of the federal government's effort to streamline spending.
For a lot of other local farmers around here, it was a major source of reliable revenue. For me, it's going to cost me around $150,000 a year.
$150,000.
Yeah, roughly 50% of my revenue.
That's a huge hit.
That's a massive hit.
Shout out to Bowery Boy on Instagram for putting that out everywhere. Yeah, those people are real. But I promise you, if you push impeachment or you let them reach his bigotry, he'll do it again. He'll do it again. He'll tell you right now, I should have considered other options because this is freaking hurting me. You let bigotry be the number one thing on the ballot, you don't control the message. You don't control the narrative. You let we're going to impeach Trump be the number one thing that the corporate media pushes on the news, and that man will vote for Trump again, even though he's cost him half his revenue, and he may end up eventually losing his farm because bigotry is one hell of a drug. Because everything Trump is doing, and Trump said it himself, and I'm not going to play the clip. I'm sick of hearing that man talk, but Trump said it himself. You knew what you signed up for. In that same interview with Moran, I played the clip from earlier. Yeah, he said it himself. Not only did he say, I'm not the decider, he also said, when Moran asked him, well, what do you tell the people that are upset that you're losing, that they say they didn't sign up for this? Oh, no, this is exactly what you signed up for. I told you. That was Trump's answer. I mean, oh, my God. Carl Rossi, if only Congress can declare war, what are they calling this double carrier exercise? Exactly. Exactly. And the Republicans aren't going to do shit. The reason you're saying that is because Republicans squeal like gut-shot hogs every time a Democrat does something with our military because they know the American people like it. Listen to our national anthem. The bombs bursting in air, the rockets red glare. It's who we the frick are, man. You show us some planes taking off from a carrier, we love it. And they bitch like crazy. President can't do that without Congress. But here you got Donald Trump running a freaking war for the last 60 days. Not a word. Not a word. There's nothing about Republic. This is why we have to end the Republican Party. There's nothing about them. Nothing they ever say actually ever means anything. Skeet Sayer, thank you. Everyone should look up images of Gaza today. It will make you cry. Yeah. It's insane. And then you've got, I mean, speaking of insane, and the economy, not just hurting farmers, but everyone, this is the kind of thing you have. Trump is out there saying this. Trump claims he already struck 200 trade deals. Okay. I bet y'all know this. How many nations are there on Earth? How many nations are there on Earth? I knew one of y'all would know. Brian Rimlinger. There are 195 nations on Earth. How the fuck did Trump cut 200 trade deals with 195 nations? That would assume that he got a deal with everybody. No, he's just a liar. Have you heard anyone in the corporate media remind you that there are only 195 nations on Earth? How could he possibly have 200 trade deals? Nah. And they know. They know. They know. You think, oh, hillbilly Paul living out in the woods, knows more than their entire staff. Come on. They know. Omniscient Sphinx, remember when Trump said he could shoot someone on Main Street and they would still vote for him? Yeah. Yeah. I promise you that farmer that's talking shit about, I shouldn't have voted for Trump because he's hurting. You put a little bit of bigotry in the mix and that old boy's back in the polls voting. He would vote for a Trump third term. But you can't lie your way through it, folks. You can't. You can't just sit there and say, oh, I made 200 trade deals. Everything's great. Woo! Everything's great. The best deals. I made the best deals with 200 nations. 200 nations. The deals were so good that there were 5 more nations invented just for the deals. Just for the deals. Yeah, that doesn't work, man. Reality is reality. It is what it is. U.S. stock markets crash. Live Dow Jones down 500 points as GDP contraction. Trump blames Biden. Oh, my God. So, yeah, that really happened. We've got some financial data out. The GDP has contracted. The math is the math. You can't lie your way through it. You can't. It's like I talk about Pete Hegseth. It's going to get worse. Don't let Signalgate go. It's going to get worse. Being the Secretary of Defense is a job that requires skills that he does not have. He is going to fail miserably and keep failing miserably. That is inevitable. That is going to happen. The economy. Peter Navarro's a moron. This is going to keep happening more and more and more. And we're already seeing it. Yeah, no kidding. Silly boo-boo. He makes sleazy car salesmen look look legit. I hear you. I hear you. But folks, it's not just GDP. The job numbers are out. The job numbers are out. We only had 62,000. What did I tell you? You need 200,000, 212,000, I think is the last count based on our population growth. 212,000 new jobs every month just to break even. We are in contraction. We only had 62,000 jobs in April. That's the reality. That's his first 100 days. He took an economy that was growing. All he had to do was go golf. That's it. Go golf. And it would have been fine. Just appoint somebody mildly competent into your cabinet and go golfing, and our economy would still be growing. Instead, GDP is contracting. We are going into recession, folks. We are. It's here. It is here now. They didn't expect it to be here now. That's why everybody's freaking out, which means it's actually worse than the smart people in the room thought it would be. But it's here. It is here. Trump's trade war means empty shelves are looming. How long until consumers feel the pain? Well, I happen to have some answers on that. They've got an economist that says May. With what's going on here, the layoffs start at the end of May. Empty ports, empty shelves, Trump tariff battle set to hit home. Yeah. 2 to 3 weeks, you're going to start seeing it. Thanks, man. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. This is really happening. You've got people out there, looking at these ports. Port of Seattle. Somebody went out and just filmed it. Empty freaking berths as far as the eye could see. No ships. LA, Long Beach. They're telling you, we're going to have to start laying off. There's just not enough traffic. Not enough traffic. So instead of actually preparing people and telling people what's happening so that you know what to do, no, they're going to lie. They didn't buy up all those affiliate stations. Sinclair didn't go out and buy up those affiliate stations. Fox doesn't run those affiliate stations, to put the messaging out, not to use them. They're going to lie. Bald Thanos, the gay man hit a golf ball straighter than Trump ever can. Oh, man, you're going to get me in trouble for laughing at that. In Seattle, can confirm. Dude, you can't believe your lying eyes, man. You can't believe your lying eyes. Because this is what your Seattle Fox 13 affiliate said. No way. Seattle ports are empty, but data shows growth. Yeah, your lying eyes seeing no ships. That's not true because the data says it's not true. Then you go on and read the story. And this is how they lie to the stupids. You remember the stories coming out over Christmas? Companies weren't giving out Christmas bonuses. Why? Because they said tariffs are coming. So we're going to fill our warehouses and we're going to buy a lot of inventory that we can't sell right now because we're going to get it cheaper than under the tariffs. And I told you, they're going to take that same inventory that they've got in their warehouses. The tariffs are going to hit, and then they're going to mark up that inventory, and they're going to tell you it's more expensive for the tariffs because of the tariffs, even though they bought it before the tariffs and screwed their own employees out of bonuses and everything else so that they could outlay that cash to put inventory in their warehouses. The bonded warehouses had a boom over the last couple months. They did. Of companies just buying pre-tariff as much as they could. Shipping companies made a fortune over the last couple of months for people buying their way up in the line. You can buy expedited shipping. You can pay your way. It's kind of like, you see people trade up in the NFL draft. Let's make a deal and let me move up in the draft. You can do the same thing with shipping containers. It just costs you money. You got to pay the person and you've got to pay the shipper. Then put your shit first. Companies were doing that to avoid these 145% tariffs. So yeah, the data says, oh man, we had a lot of shit shipped last month. Nobody's talking about last month. People aren't going into time machines and to tell you their eyes aren't seeing ships. They're going out there today and telling you there's no ships here. Because it's crashed. We know that because shipping bookings are down 65%. There's no containers coming, folks. Dave Ingram, layoffs have already started. Subaru has just announced 800 layoffs and plant closures because of the tariffs. Yeah, Subaru's moving back to Japan. They're like, I can't deal with this. Thanks for bringing that one up. That's not one of the ones that I had. You'll see. I've got a couple screenshots for you. Subaru wasn't one of them, but yeah, it's happening everywhere. It's happening. And the corporate media, Fox, well, that's not what the data says. Well, the data from when? When, the last couple months when they were buying up goods as fast as possible to fill their warehouses? You remember these stories? I remember. Trump tariff threats fuels front loading of trade shipments into U.S. led by China. Front loading of shipments, exactly what I'm talking about. You buy your way up the line and you get your shit shipped before the tariffs hit. Yeah, things were busy then. Not now. My eyes don't lie. Our friend and this is why we have the best, I'm telling you, this is the best community around. Our friend there in Seattle's like, there ain't no ships there. Sorry, muted myself. I know I'm muted. I know I'm unmuted. I'm sorry. Don't put 1,000 comments out there that I'm muted. I know. Let me read that again. I was slurping coffee and I didn't want you to hear slurping. Jeff Schuler went to Costco yesterday and you can already see the product selection is thinning. Go stock up now on essentials. You remember, you folks that are longtime members of there they are. All the comments muted. I hate when I do that. You folks are always keeping me straight, man. I love you folks. You really are. But y'all remember, you longtime members of the show, you remember me having the conversation about, hey, we went out and bought a couple cases of different kinds of tomato product because tomatoes are made in Mexico, or not made in Mexico. Most of our tomatoes are grown in Mexico, and the tariffs are going to make everything more expensive. So we went out and bought a couple cases of things that wouldn't spoil. Remember that conversation? Yeah. I'm always a couple weeks ahead. I'm always a couple weeks ahead, folks, because I pay attention to what people are saying and what's really happening. And you can say all day long, it's going to be great, this, that, and the other, You can lie. No, you can't lie your way through it. Because 20,000 people at UPS now do not have jobs. 73 locations are being closed. And you can't lie to those people. And why? Because they're shutting them down because UPS was in bed with Amazon. Amazon is dying. Folks, I don't know about you, but I'm a man of my word. And when I said, look, Jeff Bezos wants to be in bed with Trump, that's on him. Go ahead. But I'm not going to give you my money. We have probably cut 80% of what we spend on Amazon. It's literally only the things that we've been bent over and couldn't get when we needed them from anywhere else did we actually order from Amazon. We have probably cut, ask Mrs. Texas Paul, it's probably 80% of what we spent in Amazon gone. Not buying it. And that has real world impacts. The people that used to deliver that stuff, and I loved our local drivers. I really do. But I cannot support this. I cannot support this. And it's hitting home. People keep asking me, do the financial boycotts work? Do they work? Yeah, they work. They do. They work. But we have to keep the pressure up. Look at Elon Musk. You heard a peep out of Elon Musk lately? Have you heard a peep out of Elon Musk? Hell no. He's run for the hills, man. Run for the frickin' hills. It doesn't matter. Tesla's done. It's over for Tesla. But you've got Amazon here. Amazon lays off 14,000 managerial roles in restructuring push. You'll notice that they're talking about most of the job cuts are going to come in India. This is a global deal, folks. Linda Orndorff, I canceled my Prime account after the inauguration. Bezos will not get $1 of my money. It hurt, but I will live. You know, I'm telling you, that's where we're at. If we can get it anywhere else, we get it somewhere else. We do. There's been a handful of situations where we were like, okay, we've got to have something, and it's the only place we can get it. But lying will not get you through it. It will not. Amazon, you know, Jeff Bezos just bent the knee for Trump again. I've actually got something there for you. I've got bullshit Barbie attacking Amazon. Stick with me. We're going to get to that. But Amazon tries to bullshit their way through it. They try to say, no, we didn't say we're going to cut 14,000 managerial jobs. Not what we said. Okay. Let's talk about what you said. You said your 2025 goal was to increase the employee to manager ratio. Okay. Well, people that can math did the math, and they took your goals and believed you when you said, this is what you're going to do, because you told your investors, this is what you're going to do. Because a research company told you could save $3.6 billion if you just increase the number of employees per manager. I think they call them individual contributors instead of employees. Okay. That's a job cut, dude. That's a job cut. If nothing changed, if we didn't go into a recession and you increase the number of employees to managers, that's cutting jobs. Now, you could pretend you're going to grow. Oh, we're going to grow so nobody's going to lose their jobs. Bullshit. And now we're in a recession. Your math don't math. You're fucking liars. You either aren't going to make the goal that you promised your shareholders you would, because your shareholders don't give a shit who gets fired, or you're lying about firing managers. You're going to fire managers. That's the only way the maths. But they're more than happy just to pull a Trump and lie. They're more than happy to pull a Trump and lie. It's all Republicans do. Look, let me give you an example here. They wanted to make it about immigration. All of these cuts, you know, they want to say immigration, blame it on a brown person. Oh, we're having to make cuts because of a brown person. So this is what Hot Wheels and the Republicans are saying here. Texas hospitals hit with a $122 million bill for immigrants' care in a single month. Okay. How do you know they were immigrants? How do you know they were undocumented immigrants? Oh, that's right. You asked now. All right. Let's assume everybody answered honestly. Okay. And let's assume this is all 100% legit. Those numbers are not inflated by the hospital. You know, it's not, you know, how you get that bill where they, you know, if you're paying cash, they're like, oh, you owe us $250,000. And you're like, you ain't going to get it. I ain't got $250. I'm paying cash. What can we settle for? And then they lower that bill to $8,000. And then you pay $8,000 cash. Yeah. So, well, let's even pretend that's not the case. Let's say the $122 million is legit, that is what they lost because undocumented people went to the hospital. Because we did have a flu and RSV outbreak the month they're talking about, it exploded. Let's just say it's legit. What they don't tell you is that we lose about $5 billion a year, most of which, about 80% of it, is Texans that show up, and that's not me because I've got health insurance, but show up and then don't pay their bills. Yeah, that number represents about 20%. Yeah. There's another 4/5 that are Texans that don't have health insurance, that are stiff in hospitals for the bills. But they don't want to talk about that. No, let's talk about the brown person. Got to talk about the brown person. Well, let's talk about the 4 out of 5 that were Texans, born and raised, that are piss broke, that have no health insurance. No, don't talk about that. Don't talk about that. That's what they do. And they know these numbers have impact. And if you don't believe they know these numbers have impact, look at bullshit Barbie here, talking about Amazon. Amazon, a little pissed off about these tariffs. They're not digging it because so many of their goods come out of China and they're getting killed. They are getting killed. They're slashing jobs. They are getting killed. And they're pissed about these tariffs. And they don't want you to be pissed at them. They don't want you to be pissed at them. They don't. So what did Amazon do? They said, okay, look, what we're gonna do is when you go onto our website and you look and you see the price, below the price, there's gonna be a number there, and that is the amount of money that the tariffs cost you in that price. In an oppressive government, truth is an attack. In an oppressive government, truth is an attack. Now here's bullshit Barbie.
So it was reported this morning that Amazon will soon display a little number next to the price of each product that shows how much the Trump tariffs are adding to the cost of each product. So isn't that a perfect crystal clear demonstration that it's the American consumer and not China who is going to have to pay for these policies?
I will take this since I just got off the phone with the president about Amazon's announcement. This is a hostile and political act by Amazon. Why didn't Amazon do this when the Biden administration hiked inflation to the highest level in 40 years? And I would also add that it's not a surprise because, as Reuters recently wrote, Amazon has partnered with a Chinese propaganda arm. So this is another reason why Americans should buy American. It's another reason why we are onshoring critical supply chains here at home to shore up our own critical supply chain and boost our own manufacturing here.
Nope. First of all, let me answer bullshit Barbie. The reason they didn't do it when Biden was in office is Biden didn't cause the inflation. That came out of COVID. Factories were shut down. Demand was there. We all got released out of our houses to go do our thing. It was like Woody Woodpecker after winter was over and he thawed out. He was like, woohoo, went out and wanted to buy anything and everything, which caused prices to skyrocket because the factories couldn't keep up. Biden did everything he could to alleviate that. That's why when you got into office, the inflation was under fucking control. Because Biden didn't do shit to cause that. But you intentionally put a tariff on these products that we cannot source here. You know, I was on Hal's show the other day. I love talking to Hal Sparks, really smart guy. I love talking to Hal Sparks. And I was, I've shown you folks, I a little center punch that I bought from Temu. Why did I buy one from Temu? It was crap. I actually had to modify the thing when I got it to make it work right. I actually had to spend my time to make it work right. But why did I buy it? Well, there's a company that I like to buy tools from called Starrett. Starrett makes great tools. Center punch from Starrett is $37. Center punch from Temu, $3. There is no amount of tariffs, 145%, it could be 1,045%, that is going to raise the price of that center punch made in China up to the same price that sells it. Not going to happen. You're not going to locally source your goods. Everybody knows it. Everybody knows it. So we're headed to the point where there won't be shit on the shelves. And no, it's not going to turn into everybody suddenly starts buying tools and equipment that are 1,000 times more expensive because they're made here. It's not going to happen. The economy's going to shut down. That's what's going to happen. Barbie, I realize you're a complete and utter dumbass moron that will lie and say anything, but that's the reality of it, Barbie. Fucking bullshit Barbie, man. I tell you what. But this happened. Donald Trump called Jeff Bezos, and Jeff Bezos bent over, and now they're not going to do it. They're not going to tell you how much the tariff is costing you, because the truth during an oppressive regime is an attack. So Amazon will not tell you now. They're just not going to tell you. Spicy gesture, one phone call from Trump to Bezos, and they decided not to publish the tariff cost. That's how weak a man Jeff Bezos is. One phone call from Trump to Bezos, and he backed off. Yep. That is exactly what happened. Wayne, thank you for supporting the show, my friend. I appreciate you. Michael Z, thanks for always being here, brother. BS Barbie, see you next Tuesday. Oh, my God. George Allen, starting to play my blues, Texas Paul bass and guitar, sending you love, bro. Hey, man, do it. Treat yourself right. So this is, you haven't heard out of Pete Navarro in forever since they started crashing the economy. Well, it's happening again today. There's craziness all over the markets because, the job reports. This is what it looks like. So they told Pete Navarro, you did this shit. This is today. Insanity again today because of the job reports and GDP contraction shows that this recession is hitting home and is hitting home faster than they thought. The market has not been able to, this is 1 month, has not been able to, even though they've had a couple positive days, have not been able to claw back the losses since this idiotic trade war with the entire freaking world. We're still down over 2,000 points year to date. And you can tell since Trump took office, if you go back to January where Trump took office, we're down considerably. We're down several thousand points. That's what's happening today. The markets are in chaos yet again. But what does the Trump administration do? What are they going to try to do? They are going to try to lie their way out of it. Your eyes, don't believe them. You cannot believe what you're.
I got to say just one thing about today's news. That's the best negative print I have ever seen in my life. And the markets need to look beneath the surface of that. We had a 22% increase in domestic investment. That is off the charts when you strip out inventory.
Nope. No, we did not have a 22% increase in domestic investment. We had a huge amount of an increase of warehousing. Remember, I told you, pre-tariffs, they bought a shit ton of goods that they knew they couldn't sell because they were going to try to avoid the tariffs. So what did they have to do with those goods? You can't just leave them in the freaking parking lot. They will get destroyed by the elements. They're paying for warehousing. That is the domestic investment. Was a short-term temporary investment in warehousing. That's it. That was lie number one.
Inventories and the negative effects of the surge in imports because of the tariffs, you had 3% growth. So we really like where we're at now. With respect to China, look, Jim, I got to say.
We do not have 3% growth. We have had contraction. The numbers don't lie, man. The numbers don't lie. So what does Trump do? But, you can't lie your way through it. People aren't stupid. People don't believe we're going to be okay. Consumer confidence is at an all-time low. Y'all know. Y'all are a lot of, this is the best community anywhere. When I ask you the question, what is Trump going to do in this situation? And the answer is not lie. He is going to lie, but that's not the right answer. Already got one out there that's the right answer. I want to see how many people know what Trump is going to do. Blame Biden falls under the lie category. We all assume that. And yes, he's going to go golfing because he doesn't give a shit. Those are all baked into the cake. One possibility, definitely. But the right answer came out first answer from Uncle Russ. Thanks for always being here, Uncle Russ. Distraction. He's going to do something horrible. He's going to do something horrific. He's going to do something. Right now, the narrative has been, look at Trump is so toxic. Look what he did in Canada. Look what he's doing around the world. Look at the economy. Look at what's going on. Those are the narratives that are going on right now. So what is Trump going to do that is horrible, that is going to make you go and talk about only that, so that the corporate media gets what they remember? They made their deal with the devil for this. Never forgive the corporate media. Never forgive them. They 100% wanted this because they know when he does something horrible, they get to talk about it and they get eyes on the screen. Hello there. People aren't buying Teslas. Why is Tesla stock so high? Also, please say hi to your cat for me. I will. You Gangster Kitty or Dolly Parton? You got to tell me. Donna Serka, thanks for being here. Delusion. The reason Tesla stock is so high is delusion. These people actually think it's going to come back. They think that we're going to start buying Teslas again, and Tesla is going to make money. If Tesla didn't have the government credits that we gave them to sell, they would have lost money last quarter. They will continue to lose market share. Elon Musk thinks that he can just go. They're really that delusional. They think that just Elon Musk can just go away and not be seen for a while, and everybody will forget that he was doing Hitler frickin' salutes and that he caused this. Yeah, that's not happening. Tesla is not coming back. Amen. Danny Doodalito, absolutely. Tesla is done. But you have a lot of really big investors that haven't been able to offload their Tesla stock on, people like your retirement fund and shit like that, so that somebody else takes the hit. So they're going to keep that stock artificially inflated as best they can while they unload it. This is what Trump did. Trump issued an executive order. Bondi and Hegseth ordered to look at how military can be used in domestic operations. Yeah, he's going to do that. And a little thing that's also escaping the corporate media that's kind of important is they're setting up a federal fund so that when your local police department, your local cop violates your personal rights and you sue them, the federal government is going to take our tax dollars and they're going to give that cop free lawyers. Yeah, that's also part of that executive order. There's a law in this country. It's called posse comitatus. Google it. It's like 1837 or something. I don't remember the exact year. It says the military cannot operate as law enforcement. It's that simple. The Cliffs Notes of it, the posse comitatus law, the military cannot operate as law enforcement. And there's a reason for that, because that is how oppressive states work. Only civilian law enforcement can act as law enforcement. And we have laws on how that regulate that law enforcement. Donald Trump says, screw that. I'm above the law. And I'm going to have the United States military act as law enforcement. Here's the thing. They're not declaring martial law. That's two different things. It's two different things. Martial law is just a suspension of all your rights. In war or crisis or emergency, they can declare martial law. They're not declaring martial law. He's just saying he's going to ignore the law. And that's going to be the attempted distraction. Look, do I look concerned about that? No. I'm not. I'm really not. There's a lot of people that this is just starting to break. You'll hear about it in social media over the next few days, and in a couple of weeks, you'll hear about it on the news. They're always behind. It's going to be, oh my God, martial law. It's here. The fascism's here. And this is what I want you to do. If they have the military driving around, wasting your money and diesel, driving around in their MRAPs, this is what I want you to do. I want you to tell them, fuck you and fuck off. Donald Trump is a lame duck president. It doesn't matter if he has a military parade. He wants to spend $100 million on a damn parade for himself. It doesn't matter. He's weak, he's stupid, and he's done. He's failed everywhere. He has lost control of the narrative. He's lost control of the script. Yes, he's going to try to do something outrageous. Yes, the way this is going to play out is he's going to break the law. The Republicans are going to do nothing about it. Then we're going to have to go to court, and he's going to lose. And it'll take time, but he's going to lose because he's weak and he's stupid. What we're not going to do is we're not going to react violently. We're not going to take the bait. Don Huber, of course, Cletus loves seeing those female judges arrested. They look like the ones who garnish his wages for back child support. Yep. We got an update on the Wisconsin judge. We're going to talk about that on Sunday. Again, people are reading that one wrong, but we'll talk about that on Sunday. But yeah, folks, we're not going to do it. Let me find the video for you, just to remind you. I didn't pull this up. I didn't have it ready. Let me see if I can find it. Let me see if I can find it. Pause with me for just a second, folks. Sorry about the dead air. Let me see if I can find the actual video of him actually saying it. But y'all remember Kevin Roberts of the Heritage Foundation? I'm having a hard time finding a clean video of it. But y'all remember when he said this, right? Let me see if I can find. There you go. I don't have the video of it, but I've got a quote, a still image with the quote. Y'all remember when Kevin Roberts said this? We are in the process of the second minute revolution, which will remain bloodless if the left allows it. It's part of the 2025 project, folks, that they keep doing horrible shit, and they think they know us. They don't know us for shit. They don't. They think they know us. They think they know what's going to happen, and they're idiots. They don't. They're all idiots. All of them are idiots. Their whole formula involved us becoming violent. That was part of the mix, so that they'd have someone to blame. Instead, because we are not being violent, because our protests are peaceful, because we show up to our protests with no masks on, with our phones out so that we can record everything that's going on, all of the blame for everything that's going on is on them. And they never thought that would happen. They thought for sure they would get, some of that great footage they got, but it hasn't happened. Now, you're going to get the white supremacist organizations, just like we saw in the George Floyd protests, and just like they're going to start infiltrating our protests and doing violent shit. They'll be the ones running around with masks on, acting like freaking idiots. And you'll notice it's a white guy, because the white supremacists are all in on the Republicans. Yeah, don't believe the hype, Flavor Flav. Oh man, that's a good one. That is a good one. But yeah, folks, that the fact that don't touch the bricks. Yeah. Remember I showed you in the last protest, there were just bricks laying around, and then there were police in the crowd, weirdly stationed near the bricks. Bricks that didn't even match any of the local masonry, just bricks laying there for people to pick up. Yeah, don't touch the bricks. Bricks are bait. Absolutely. Absolutely. They're trying desperately to get us to do something violent. That's what this is. See, they were going to do this all the time. They were going to shit all over the posse comitatus law, and they were going to invoke the military. But they thought they were going to have some violent protest that they could run on Fox News to make it justifiable, and they don't have it. And they're in so much trouble, they pulled the trigger on it too soon. This is the kind of thing that even the stupids understand. The stupids understand tanks in the streets. The stupids understand the military showing up in our cities. I live in a world of politics, folks. I do. Everything I look at, I cannot help but doing the political calculus. And I say, fucking bring it. Bring it. Bring it. Show the MRAPs driving by with the citizens standing on the sidewalk doing this. Bring it. Let the world see. It was one thing, going back to immigration and stuff they'd love to talk about. It was one thing to run your mouth about the world of make-believe, but now we see American citizens in CCOT, in an El Salvadoran prison. They think those images are great because their bigot base cheer, USA, USA, USA. But the rest of the world, rest of the American population is fucking horrified. So yeah, bring it. Do that. Yeah. Take all of the esteem the military has, rip it to shreds, and piss all over it, because that's exactly what you're doing. Because they'll follow those orders. And I know there's a lot of people that are going to say, well, the military is under no obligation to follow unlawful orders. Well, yeah, you know what? If you're a sergeant and you've done this your entire career, and you're staring your 4 years from retirement, you're going to get in that MRAP and you're going to drive around because you're like, well, I'm not going to hurt anybody. So yeah, the military is going to do it. And the Republicans are going to pay for it. They're going to pay for it because we're not going to be stupid. We're not going to take the bait. We're not going to be violent because we're winning. You do your stupid thing and we're going to beat you in court. And then we're going to beat you at the box office, at the polls. We're going to beat you at the polls, at the box office, like it's a fucking movie. We're going to beat you at the polls and we're going to take power from you. But when we take power from you, all of these abuses, I'm not high road, motherfucker. I'm not. All of these games you played in all of these committees, that's the new norm. That's what we're going to do to you. At least that's what I'm going to fight for. When you look on that high road for those high road Democrats, I ain't there, motherfucker. I'm the one down here in the ditch with your sorry ass. And you're not going to get anything but a fucking fact bat upside your head. I'm going to push for people to run these committees that are just as cold-blooded as you are, that have my interests in mind. Fuck you. And I told you I would show you something that you absolutely were not going to believe. This is real. This is really real. Spicy Jester, Texas Paul is taking us to the movies. Oh my God. This is real. Miss Lindsay put out a tweet that says, I was excited to hear that President Trump is open to the idea of being the next pope. This would truly be a dark horse candidate, but I would ask the papal enclave and Catholic faithful to keep an open mind about the possibility. The first pope U.S. president combination has many upsides. Watching for white smoke. Trump MMXXVI. Oh, VII. That's real. Everybody that saw this, every legitimate outlet that saw this said, nah, that's fake. That's Photoshop. That's just that's just that shit they do where they just Photoshop something crazy and it goes viral. No, this is real. Oh my God. In their little bubble, saying things like Canada's going to be the 51st state or make Trump the Pope. That sounds good to them. That sounds good to them. But out here where the rest of the decent people live, it's fucking insulting. It's insulting. It's being rude to our closest ally and closest friends. I love you, my Canadian friends. Love you folks, man. I want to congratulate you again. You understood the assignment and you got it done. Thank you for showing the world. Nobody has been the need to lame duck ass Trump. But saying things like Trump could be Pope, that is literally the evangelicals raising its middle finger to America's Catholics. Because I guarantee you, there's a lot of Trump supporting American Catholics out there. There are. And you literally just raised the middle finger and shoved it in their face. So yeah, Miss Lindsay, keep on keeping on, man. You just keep saying that. You just keep saying that. I hope it goes viral. I hope the right wing latches onto this and every one of them keeps saying Trump for Pope. Because every one of the fractures in your foundation that you people create, you're going to see old Texas Paul sneaking around your little house with sticks of dynamite, shoving them in those cracks, and I'm going to blow your house the fuck up. Stop coddling stupid. Welcome to the chocolates slapping left. Folks, the traditional sandals that like Mexican moms and grandmas wear are called chanclas. And it is really common for a Hispanic mother to just, when their kids get out of line, reach down, snatch that chancla off, and whoop some ass with it. And running away don't do you any good, because I guarantee you, your average Mexican abuela, it's better than an Aboriginal with a boomerang. I'm telling you, they got you, man. If y'all don't know what the chanclas reference is. Marie Crabtree, he's trying to land grab, making a military base, giving MPs the right to search you. Yeah. They're going to do shitty stuff. They are. Even a weak, stupid president can do damage. They can. We just need to remember it all. We do. When it's time for leadership elections, we need to remember this, and we need to put leaders in place that are okay with some payback. Jeff Schuler, how long until these ICE agents cause a violent altercation by not IDing themselves or presenting a warrant when they snatch people off the street? Yeah, that's coming, folks. There are way too many guns in this world. They're going to go into the wrong house at the wrong time. That's coming. Christy Light, Trump spoke on a, quote, good cardinal from New York, unquote, which says MAGA would even try to infiltrate the Vatican. Yeah, they would. They are not above anything. They aren't. Not the Onion Daily Message. Yes, it is real. It is. It really is real. I know there's going to be some people out there that, I got to, because you people check everything. I love you for it. I love you for it. I do. When I misspeak in the show and I get like those 5 to 10 emails that are like, you said, and it's really like, talking about Abrego Garcia, did a video and I said Tren de Aragua instead of MS-13. I got a dozen emails that were like MS-13. I love you folks for that. I do. And I know right now, I can hear the keys. I can hear them. People trying to verify that is real. That is real. Go do it. Go do it. That is really Lindsey freaking Graham. Go do it. Trump for Pope. Oh my God. Let that sink in and just think just how idiotic your average MAGA voter is. And I have to tell you, folks, this doesn't really make me happy because MAGA voters look like me. I can't tell you how many times I get attacked. Stella Parton attacked me. Stella Parton attacked me because she made an assumption based on my face and what I had written above a video that I was agreeing with what I had written when the video was me excoriating that news. She put a humdinger told me to shut the fuck up. She did. She deleted it later, but I mean, people just assume. And I got to tell you, that doesn't bother me. It doesn't bother me. Because, folks, y'all need to start taking a look at this face and faces that look just like it. And you need to realize that a lot of people that look just like, I love Stella too. I really do too. I really love Stella Parton. She is great. If you don't follow her on social media, I don't know what you're doing with your life. She is really great. But yeah, I'm telling you, it's changing. People are realizing that people that look like me are stupid enough to like statements like Trump for Pope. And those paradigms are they're difficult to change. They really are. You know, you see a guy like me smiling and most people think, oh, that's, safety, nice guy, this, that, and the other. That's changing. That is changing. And that's not a bad thing because it's making them own their shit. No, I don't want anybody to not get along. You know, I always say it. We all do better when we all do better. But these bigot fuckers have been hiding behind this face for too goddamn long. And I'm glad to see people are finally starting to lose confidence in people that look like me and holding us accountable for the stupid shit we believe. Marion Timmons, thank you for your in-depth perspective. No, I appreciate you. That's what I do. That's what you are supporting. When you do this, this is what you're paying for. I can't do it without you. I can't. Got bills to pay, baby. If Bone Spurs was Pope, would Melania be first nun? Oh my God. It'd be the first nun you've ever seen. Can you already see the photoshops of all the nude pictures out there of Melania where they Photoshop a habit on top? Oh my God. You know, those are coming. Yeah, you got to spread this. You got to spread this, folks, because you know this is coming. Oh my God. Skates here. How many ice ages are January 6th part? Yeah, that's the kind of thing. You elect Democrats, that's the kind of thing we're going to find out. Who the hell is ICE employing? That's one of the big questions I want to go after. Kirsten Neeson, Donald von Schützenpants can't be Pope. He only wears a blue suit with that long. No kidding, right? Could you imagine have y'all seen what he did to the Oval Office? The Oval Office looks like a cheap pimp lives there. It does. A cheap, low-class, no-taste pimp. He threw gold leaf all over that office. It's a goddamn crime what he did. Could you imagine what he would look like as Pope? Elijah Peters, thank you for the support. I appreciate you. Yeah, I love my fact back too. I really do. Thank you. I appreciate it. I do. I love my fact back. Keep it with me all the time. I do. You should see me. You should see. This is funny. And this is what I'm going to end you with. You should see me because I speak at different organizations, different events. I'm going to be speaking at one this weekend. And I'm going to be walking up looking like me. And there's going to be a cop outside or 2 or 4. And I'm going to be walking across the parking lot looking like me carrying a fucking baseball bat. That is always a fun conversation. Oh my God. I swear I'm going to get shot for carrying fact bat sometime. I love you folks. That's what I've got for you today. Bottom line, Trump is a lame duck with 2 broken wings. Don't let him get away with it. Stay on narrative, stay on message. No circular firing squads. Screw those people that are into circular firing squads. Amen. You got to stay on message. Do it. And don't let them goad you into doing something stupid. That's what I got for you today. I hope you have a beautiful week. I hope your hump day goes extremely well. Thank you all for supporting the show. Thank you for keeping the lights on. I appreciate you. Can't do it without you. Enjoy some Texas cities at night.